Hi, loyal Livewire fans. It's great to have you here, but sadly, day one coverage is almost at its end. We're not going down without a fight, though, and we've got just the man to do it. Cliff is here joining us in the studio. He's got Gears of War 2, he's got chainsaws and guns and my heart. It all sounds good to me. Let's do this, you guys. I see that little smirk.
How the hell are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Awesome. Let's see it.
Yay,
Come on, play.
caffeinated.
Let's
Woo.
play.
Cool. Yeah, so we have a demo we brought of Gears of War 2, and this is from our campaign. And the Locust, of course, they're back, because if they weren't back, you wouldn't have anything to kill. And they're meaner than ever, and they're sinking entire cities. And in this scenario, Marcus and Dom from Delta Squad have to traverse a city that just got sunken, and it's very precarious, and there's all sorts of nasties along the way, and a little bit of a surprise at the bottom.
Awesome. Sweet.
Yeah,
Sounds
so let's
good.
fire this bad boy up,
Yep,
and let's
I'm
kill some
ready.
fools. Cool.
See how long you survive.
I got 4 minutes to save the world.
So, Cliff, let's start talking about the campaign a bit.
Yeah, man.
You know, obviously, it left the first game ended on a cliffhanger, and we don't really know what's happening. Is this one going to be kind of more focused on the characters, you think, or is it going to be more saving the world type stuff? Again?
Well, you're still saving the world, but at the same time, it's more of a personal story. You have Marcus and Dom right here, and Dom's looking for his wife at the beginning of the game. By the way, that crane right there, Marcus will be able to operate in the full version, and he'll guide Dom across on the other side of it. A little vertigo moment here. And so the game is more epic in scale, but it's also more personal as far as kind of getting to know who these guys are and what motivates them and what's going on in this world.
Obviously, co-op is going to play a huge part in the game. How are you going to work out the storyline when playing co-op? Is it still going to be the same sort of cutscenes and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, cutscenes sometimes get kind of a bad rep, and you know, for me, narrative-wise, it's just one of the other tools that we use as designers to kind of like tell the experience of what we're doing, right? And you finish that guy off and get to the next enemy. And you know, we tell the story by having like voices over PA systems. We have these things called discoverables, where players can find like a piece of paper that reveals a little bit of information about what's going on in the world, and all those different devices. That's a Mauler, by the way. He's a boomer that wields a shield as well as a continually exploding grenade-like device. And if I can take him out, the shield I can actually wield. Ah, he's charging me. Shoot in the leg, shoot in the leg. Die. There we go.
Sweep the leg.
Cool, yeah, that's the way to take him out. Now I have the shield, and oh, there's a Reaver. They can actually land this time around. Let me deploy my shield and take a few pot shots at him. Ooh, that just saved me from the rocket. Now I can plant the shield in the ground right there. One of the themes of the game is the idea of portable cover, right? You can take enemies hostage. You have these creatures called rockworms, which are essentially these, ooh, that's nasty. And you can grab the shields, and you can put them in the ground and take out your enemies with them. Oh, here's another one of those bastards. See if I can knock this guy down. And still, you think I go for the curb stomp? There we go. Oh.
How was it working with Josh Ortega this time out?
Josh is a tremendously talented writer who is very prolific in the sci-fi and graphic novel arena. And if you've ever met him, he's a force of nature, man. The guy is just nonstop, and he's such a bundle of enthusiasm. Oop, there's the ticker. I just knocked him onto his back. Oh, and here's our Scorch drone. You can blow up his backpack, by the way. And narrative's incredibly important to us. I mean, Gears 1, it's still very much kind of a summer blockbuster type of experience, but we really want to kind of get to know these guys a little bit better and introduce a couple other characters. We have Dizzy, who's a truck driver. We have Ty, who's kind of this honorable Pacific Islander warrior type guy. And we have a flamethrower, too, by the way.
Yeah, actually, let's talk about some of the new weapons. Obviously, flamethrower is one of the pretty big ones,
Yeah,
but I saw a few of them last night that were equally awesome.
Yeah, we have the Gorgon, which is a semi-automatic pistol, which you might have seen me use a little bit of. Ooh, the ticker got me. And then we have the Mulcher, which is our Gatling gun. And that's...
the Mulcher?
Yeah, it's named appropriately because it basically mulches your enemies. And let me finish this guy off. Oh, let me actually grab him. Look, there's our hostage. And we have a mortar launcher, which is tremendously heavy, and you can launch explosives across the entire map, which is very, very useful in multiplayer.
We've seen the hostage thing a few times now. How exactly is that going to work? Will other locusts actually not fire on their squad mates?
Oh, they will, and it's actually when you have somebody as a hostage, it's basically a get out of jail free card as far as somebody using a boom shot or a grenade on you. And if somebody actually chainsaws, what winds up happening is they'll chainsaw their buddy, and then you can kind of get away while they're delayed for a second chainsawing their buddy.
Can you use the hostage mechanic in multiplayer as well?
Oh, absolutely. But the thing to keep in mind is once you take somebody hostage, they're basically, they go into the spawn queue immediately, so you're not just carrying them around for the rest of the game, because that'd be very, very frustrating.
If you were to take somebody hostage, would they be able to eventually break free and attack you again?
No, once they're gone, they're
gone.
Yeah. And the Hammer of Dawn's back. You saw it with the other guy, and I'm going to take out this guy. Yeah, this is the Cantus. He's kind of the Locust Priest, that kind of tall, wiry guy in the back. And he can summon tickers from the underground, and as well as use the gas grenades on you. He can also revive other enemies in battle, which are very, very tricky when he starts doing that kind of stuff. Let me take this bastard out. burn him. Get him, Dom. Dom just knocked him down with a screen attack. You see that? There we go. Take it.
So the in the multiplayer, there's also a new mode called mode called Horde.
Yeah, basically, so what we wanted to do is have a, we love co-op, right? And we still have 2 players in the main co-op campaign, but we also wanted to kind of expand upon that by having a 5-player mode called Horde. And I'm going to actually finish this guy off right here and tell you about that. So it's basically 5 players against wave after wave of Locust, and I like to pitch it as kind of a Geometry Wars meets Smash TV mode. And we had some great hands-on time with journalists last night. Everybody was hooting and hollering and dealing with the wave after wave of Locusts that are coming after them. Right here you can see the crowd system at play in the latest version of the Unreal Engine, and there's a Brumac in the middle of that, and I'm going to grab the mulcher gun that we talked about. You can see it's very heavy and it has a little bit of encumbrance. And I'm going to mount it on cover and just start unloading on the crowd and finishing them off. I can actually cool off my gun by holding the right bumper. You can see the steam coming out too because it overheats. And then the Brumac's unloading on the building here, and the building eventually collapses on the entire crowd, kills a lot of them, and then, as you'll see in a second, has a little bit of a surprise. Got to get out of the burning building first. It's starting to look like backdraft up in here. Nice fire effects and everything.
How is to go back to the Horde a little bit?
Yeah,
to
man.
go back to Horde a little bit. How's it going to work as far as getting through one level and then you go to the next one? I assume it just gets harder and harder.
It
or is
does
there
get
more
harder and harder.
enemies, or-
We're looking at about 50 waves right now, and we have all sorts of different types of enemies that start coming in, and we kind of ratchet it up to the next level, so it gets a lot more challenging. And then the elevator's sideways here. And so what winds up happening is we bookmark after 5 waves, so you can basically try and play through and get on the leaderboards. And once everybody holds up, it's a ton of fun.
Let me just say that I am big onto small details in games, and the side winding elevator with
love
the
that.
falling building to me is nicely done.
I love the little audio of how it
Nicely
sounds
done,
all
sir.
screwed up when it's like the elevator music and it's like. Brrr. There's the Brumac, by the way. He's trapped, and if I can get around to the side of him there. let me
Yeah,
just
let's get to the
dodge
surprise,
these
and then we're
shots
gonna
here.
have to wrap.
Yep. We're wrapping up right to the end here.
Could we just stay here and play though after we're done?
Oh, yeah, dude, if you slip me a few bucks, I can actually give you a copy here.
Nice, nice.
So let me just finish this guy off here, and this is the driver of the Brumac. Knock him out. Boom. And now, looks like I might be able to actually climb in the back of that and potentially use it.
If only we could see that.
Well, we'd love to show that.
Over there and
We don't
finish
want
it
to
off.
spoil everything.
Right.
Here we go.
Awesome.
We could ride it. Speed this whole operation up.
Reavers were one thing, but a Brumac?
If they can ride them, so can we.
So you not only get to ride the Brumac, you
Marcus
get
is
to ride
still a
Reaver.
badass apparently.
He's
Wow.
the most badass of them all, man. So you have a tank, you have a Reaver, and a Brumac in the game.
Very well done. Very
you.
excited. Like the little details. Thanks for coming by with the demo. But sadly, it is time to say goodbye for now. Thank you everyone for joining us. We will be back bright and early for day 2. See you all then.